Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. My name is William. This is a Set of Corsa Competición, and today I'm going to be driving the Porsche 718 Cayman GT4 Clubsport around Spa. Today I'm going to have a hot lap for you, and then the setup I used as well at the end of the video. Going to be kind of going over the setup a little bit and just making some talking points about it, as well as there's not really a good yardstick out there yet for these cars, so just going for a balance that is comfortable and consistent for me. But I'll try and give you guys some adjustments you can make, and probably also ask you guys to give me some feedback on this setup specifically, just so I can get a good direction before we start doing more cars. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and shut up. We'll get on to the hot lap, and I'll be back with you guys to talk over the setup. Enjoy. Alright everyone, that was a hot lap around Spa in the Porsche 718 Cayman GT4 Clubsport. And see the time here, a 2:30.465. Even with a pretty big mistake in Sector 2, it was all driver, all me. I clobbered a curb a little bit too hard and got very crossed up. It's hard to miss if you watch the hot lap. I think it did cost me a little bit of time. And I think this setup is ultimately capable of jumping down into the 29s with somebody a little bit more talented than me. But nevertheless, I was about a second and a half faster than I was on the aggressive preset. So I figured I'd go ahead and share this with you guys. While saying that, the balance of this setup to me feels kind of like neutral, leaning towards understeer. So keep that in mind, but also I would appreciate y'all's feedback on the setup if you don't mind letting me know in the comments if you like it, if you wanted it more aggressive or whatever, and I'll try and keep that in mind as I build these and we get kind of more of a reference as to what times are fast and everything. Right now, all I have to go off of is kind of a balance of the way I want the car to feel, and something that is consistent and drivable for you guys, hopefully. So Getting into it here, over the aggressive preset, I lowered the toe quite a lot, front and rear. It was pretty high on the rear, and I really didn't need all that stability, so I went ahead and lowered it to try and induce a little bit more rotation out of the rear. Also lowered the cambers. It just really seemed to help the consistency and the drivability of the car up Eau Rouge. So there's that there. For the tire pressures, I was aiming for right around 27.5 psi. I didn't want to go over 28, as I feel you lose quite a bit of grip whenever you're running the pressures that high. So round about 27.5 in the front, and just a touch lower on the rear of the car. For the electronic aids, traction control on one, ABS on one, they're fantastic. This car's really it's not that much of a handful on power or anything like that. If anything, sometimes it feels like it has too much rear grip. So no issues for me there, but you can obviously tweak these to suit your conditions, or what you're wanting from the car. There's no harm in that. I didn't touch the brake pad compound, so kind of unsure on that as of now. The mechanical grip side of things, I did increase the preload on the differential. I went ahead and did that mostly to try and once again induce a little bit more rotation on throttle, especially in the kind of middle to high speed corners. Um, it was tending to understeer pretty freaking bad on the aggressive preset. So that's one of the things I was really trying to dial out of the car, and get it to kind of hook up through the high-speed corners a little bit better on the front end. And sometimes the way you have to do that is actually just to get the rear to rotate more. So that's what I went for, as I had tried a higher wheel rate on the rear to get some of that rotation, and it just really kind of threw the balance of the car off, in my opinion. Also lowered the brake bias. There's really not a lot wrong with the brake bias that comes on with the aggressive preset, and it's not significantly lower, but I was getting just slightly better braking performance out of it, and a little bit easier time kind of trail braking whenever I wanted to. This is kind of the big thing on this page, this anti-roll bar setting. So 4 is the most consistent over the entire lap as far as speed is concerned. If you are really struggling with Eau Rouge, go to 5 and just try that. If that is an area where you are absolutely struggling, you do have to lift for Eau Rouge either way, but try 5 and see if it improves the drivability. Unfortunately for me, I was several tenths slower through sector 2 of the track on 5 anti-roll bar, and I couldn't really do anything else to the setup to kind of try and get that time back. So 4, it's still drivable through Eau Rouge. You just have to be a lot more careful with your line that you take. On the damper page, there's not really much to talk about here. Since there's not as many damper adjustments to make on the car, I'm not sure I can quite spend a week tweaking these, but I could definitely spend several hours, and I'm just trying to throw something together, kind of a work in progress setup, to get it out there to you guys and kind of get some feedback and see how it goes over. So not much to talk about on here, but just general stuff to try and control the balance of the car. On the aero side of things, you can see here, 1, the ride heights, and 2, the splitter. So this car does have a splitter, which is nice because it was understeering pretty terribly, like I said, on the high-speed corners, middle speed corners too, or mid-speed corners. So I went ahead and put the splitter up to 4. You can definitely run 5. I just thought it made the car a little bit more aggressive, and I wanted it to be a little bit a little safer to drive if it's going out to just everyone. So if you do want a little bit more of an aggressive nose on the car, bump that up to 5. Very drivable in my opinion. Just give that a try. The ride heights I have set up for Eau Rouge, basically just plain and simple. On the ride heights from the aggressive preset, the car basically hits the track and you just kind of skate to the wall on the left. So I have it set up that way. The rear is still lower than the front. That seems to be what this car likes. If you want more rotation out of the car on turn-in, which is not something I was really looking for, increasing that rear ride height up a little bit does wonders. It also gives you quite a bit more rotation in the middle of the corner as well, but not really on the exit of the corner, and that's where I was wanting it. So that's pretty much where I wound up either way. And then just brake ducts, obviously, to try and keep the brakes in the best range compared to where it was on the aggressive preset. So anyways, guys, that is a general overview of the setup here. I hope, like I said, you guys can take this out, try it. I know Spa is pretty popular. I think the 718 is going to be a very popular car out of this pack, so give it a try. Let me know any feedback. Like I said, it may be completely slow, maybe crap. I don't know. I want some feedback from you guys on it, and I would appreciate it. So, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully we'll be able to do a lot more cars in the future, and I won't have to ask for so much feedback, but we may revisit this one depending on how it all goes over. But yeah, until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye bye.